Welcome everybody to my channel, Go Green or Go Home. And the purpose of today's video is very simple. It's to kind of show you guys some of the things I've been working on, and also kind of just kind of the vibe that we're creating here. You know, the feel for what really kind of goes on here. And so where I want to start by talking about kind of like how I wake up in the morning and just kind of my morning routine. You know, now that I have animals, things are looking up, and I'm getting a little bit more routine based. And like before, it was just crazy, going everywhere, doing all kinds of different stuff. But now I get to build a repertoire on having a really, you know, homesteady type routine, and I've been dreaming about this for a while. So before I do that, I'm gonna put some chapstick on because you got to stay hydrated, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, the thing I want you guys to kind of understand is that I get to sleep here in this RV right here that someone gave me. So someone gifted this to me, but when they gave it to me, it was trashed. It was just a broken mess, and it was dusty, and it was rodent infested, and there was all kinds of things wrong with this place. But we got it in a condition to where at least we can make it livable. So this is going to be kind of a small tour of this. And later on in the video, I'm going to talk about some of the projects that I'm currently working on, and kind of like the future of those projects. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit on that. But so here goes nothing. So I get to wake up right here and check out this view. You know, I get to wake up every morning and just look out the window and see how amazing every bit of this view is, you know. And so I don't know, it's just something new. It's been amazing, refreshing to be able to wake up and feel like I'm not being rushed, and feel like, you know, like I fit in. You know, I feel like I'm at peace with this. I'm able to be happy and content. I wake up and I look outside the window and everything just looks amazing, and kind of puts me in a really good mood for the rest of the day. So that's kind of how I feel about it. And some of the upgrades I did to this place, I had to make these boxes right here and insulate them, because there's wheels under this, and there was a closet right here. There's a huge closet right here, and it like went up to the wall. I don't know if you could see that. And this place was just a mess. The cabinets didn't really work. It was just taking up all kinds of space. I also had to put a box on this other set of wheels, and because there's a ton of air leaks out of that. And mind you guys, when I got this RV, it was about 3 months ago, and I didn't really have any other place to stay that was insulated, and we were in a situation that I had to move out of where I was living because I didn't want to keep paying rent, and the pandemic was going on. I didn't want to live in the city, so I just decided, you know what, someone gave me this RV, I'm gonna go fix it. We're gonna make this thing work. And mind you, it was middle of winter, so it was rough. A lot of these nights when it wasn't all the way finished, like first thing we did was clean it up, but there was nights it was windy, and even with this heater on right here, the buddy Mr. Heater. So even with that thing kicked on all the way, it was so cold in here, and it was a nightmare. So got through that. We were able to patch some of these ginormous holes that were part of this RV, and it started to close things in and actually make it feel airtight. And so there used to be a kitchen right here. I tore that out to make space for just a room. I just wanted a room. So I framed this wall, insulated it, and drywalled it. Mind you, this was free drywall because I go to Home Depot every now and then, and they give us free, they have sometimes free drywall. I don't know if you can see this, but it says free. And down here, I have some more proof. It says free. So this build right here, the drywall part of it was free. And so it's amazing to be able to come across things that are for free and that no one's really going to use anymore, and it's just going to be trash, you know? So I'm going to turn something like that into a beautiful masterpiece, and this wall has just done a lot to make this place feel like a home, feel like a room. I still have yet to put the door up, but that's another story. So a couple other things I'm working on is I'm starting some seeds for this year, and I hope to actually grow some food on here. And one of the goals I have is to actually grow at least 50% of the food that we eat, and maybe a more ambitious goal is to produce anywhere from 40 to 60% of the food that some of my animals will eat. So we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be crazy. But I'm starting some seeds. Here are the seed trays. I have this thing right here. It's it's a soil block maker. It's awesome. This thing is awesome. I have one that's bigger than that, and I have one that's smaller than that. And it makes smaller cubes. This one makes little baby cubes, and you can plant like very tiny seeds in those. Here I have a bunch of seeds. A bunch. You're not going to believe how much money I spent on seeds. No, I'm just kidding. I got these about 2 years ago, and they were like on sale. So this was before the pandemic. If you try to buy seeds now, you know they're expensive. So look. I got a bunch, so I'm gonna definitely flex. Anyway, so I got some of it started. It's a mess in here, but it's because I just had to cram all this stuff in here and keep it out of where the rodents can access this stuff at night. I don't want them accessing all this food. Funny story. There used to be a bathroom right here. You can see the light fixture where it used to be. That's where it ended, and this used to be a small bathroom, and underneath this bathroom there was like a vent area, and they were coming up out of it, and I kid you not, I didn't even know there was rodents in here. Still, while we were living in it, there would be this rodent that came at night, and I hear all kinds of noises, and he actually was getting into one of my feet. It's a layer pellet. He was taking all these pellets, and he was making like a home out of it. He was insulating his area with it. I was like, half of the bag was gone in like one night. This dude was just back and forth. And I was just like terrified. Like, I cannot believe this thing is in here. And I'm actually kind of afraid of rodents. So I was like with my little light, I was looking at him, and he would just come in and out. He didn't even care. I was like, wow. I just thought, you know what? Maybe when I wake up, I'm gonna actually do something about getting this bathroom torn off. And I remember being so mad, and I was like, I'm gonna tear this thing off today, and we're gonna get this thing done. So I was able to put plywood and cover that entire area up, so there no rodents can come up. So another big renovation I did was up here in the front. There used to be seats right here. This was the RV driving area. So there was 2 seats right here, and there was a steering wheel. There was a dashboard. I mean, it was a mess, guys, a mess. And I had to the motor stuff was coming out of here, and there was this giant air leak box. There was a box here, and it was air leaking like crazy. And I had to I just tore it all out. I tore the front end off. I had to tear the radiator off, and there was this steel chassis frame. I had to cut that out, and I did all that off of free energy. Like, so it was really hard because I was I didn't have much to power, you know, I didn't have much power to be cutting steel and stuff. So, but luckily, like, I upgraded and I got 2 more panels, right? So I was able to use this thing, and it worked, and this thing's amazing. I could use this off of solar. So I was able to cut all that, and right on the last cut, I ran out of cutting discs. It was a nightmare. I thought I wasn't gonna finish. And that day was windy and cold. So if I wouldn't have been able to cover this area up, on the other side of this is literally a giant, like, where the radiator is supposed to, like, it's a huge area where the air is supposed to pass, and that's just supposed to like, cool the radiator fluid and all that. So literally this whole area was just this was the most giant air leak area there was, and I didn't even know it. After I blocked that area and all those other areas, they were coming in through here too. I was like, oh great, so we're just gonna redo this whole thing. And so I was able to do it. My girlfriend helped, thank God, and we were able to get it done in one day. And ever since then, this place has been like so much warmer. This place actually, we survived the winter. After this, we survived the winter like it was nothing. But before that, every night I felt like this place sucks, man. This is cold, and I don't know how much more of this I can take. So, also another thing was that we had to cover these windows up because they were broken. So that one was broken. This one was broken. And then that one in the back was broken. And then that one right there is broken too, but it's made out of plexi. So I'm going to just take that out. And I was thinking of adding a whole big, nice window so it's like a clear view. That's something I'm going to work on. Also, the electrical, it's temporary. I know it looks ugly. These are all the old wires. And quick story on that. The rodents actually chewed up all the wires in here, so I wasn't even able to use the old panel or the old wires. All the wires that are in here, just forget about it. They don't work. So I came up with this new plan, and I'm just gonna add new wires and new circuits, and we're gonna get this thing wired up real nice. I promise. But for now, this is kind of what I just did to be temporary. So I brought a Humron in from the main panel, and I just brought 2 circuits out of it. Right here is 15 and another 15 amp breaker. And this is pretty much what I'm using to be able to live comfortable in here. And I have 2 outlets, one right here, and then one right here. And this is what I use to charge my phone. And then this is my light for right now. It doesn't even have a switch or nothing. I know you guys might be thinking, oh, that's how you live, and this is how you're gonna live forever. No, I used to be an electrician, so I know my stuff. I know I can get this whole place working just fine. But for now, this is kind of the only time that I've had to put into this. Matter of fact, I already have some of the materials to actually upgrade this place, but I just haven't done it because I don't know. I just been working on a lot of other stuff. Right here, look. I already got some boxes. I got a couple more plugs, some face plates, and I just got a couple switches. So there's a couple things I'm working on there, but that's for later. I just want to give you guys a good insight of like how easy it could be to be comfortable. You don't need a lot, and it is safe. I just haven't put this has a, every panel comes with one of these. I just haven't put it on because I was working on it. So super safe. This is all safe. There's nothing wrong with it. So yeah. So now getting aside from that, let's talk about the animals. So this is a male giant Flemish rabbit. And he's really chill. We just got him and all the other rabbits. We just barely got him. So this is a new project that I'm working on because I'm trying to create more mulch. I'm trying to create more more garden, you know, garden mulch, garden rich nutrients for the soil. And this is a perfect way with their manure to have it as an additive. So they're just awesome little creatures, and they're really easy to maintain. And so the other project I'm working on is chicks, because it's spring. So I'm gonna do a couple hatch outs with this, and this box right here, that's what that's for. Right here, I'm able to have a very how do I say this? This area is really air, like it keeps the temperature really steady. So this is an insulated box, as you can see. It's insulated all the way around, and it keeps the temperature really steady in here. My humidity's coming up pretty high. That's how awesome this thing is. It just locks in all this consistent temperature that's in here. It locks it in, and it really just allows this machine to work hard and actually be consistent to heat all the eggs, which is a hard thing to do if you don't have a lot of insulation. Matter of fact, this thing was manufactured to only operate off this insulation, but I come to find out, based on prior experiences, that this is not enough. You need something better to come around that. So right now we have I filled it up this time. Last time I only did 34 eggs. This time I filled it up, and we have 3 different varieties of chickens. So that's gonna be awesome. We're gonna see what they look like. It's gonna be a colorful thing. And yeah, so that's that. And the first hatch I did off this happened literally not even a couple days ago. And guys, here's the thing. I got a 94% success hatch rate, which has been the best thing that I've ever been able to accomplish. Everything before that, anything I considered the best, was right around 65, maybe 70%. When I first started doing incubations, I was getting maybe 30% successful hatch rates. It was low. It was awful. So it makes me feel good to know that just based off of one upgrade, I was able to get almost triple what I was getting when I started. So I'm just gonna show you guys a little bit of the outside. This right here is a deck that we built because this RV sits kind of high, and it was a hassle coming in and out. So I built this just a 2-step system, and it works great, and I haven't had any problems with it. So the chicks, they're gonna spend their foreseeable future here so that they can grow and kind of explore and start to gain their skills that they need to be able to be productive in the system. And this is the yard that I built. This right here, this is a worm composting bin, and it's got a lot of red wiggler worms in there, and that right there is worm tea, and that's amazing stuff for your garden, and the worm compost is as well. So all of that is awesome stuff for the garden. Again, here are the rabbits. Here are the female rabbits. They're just hanging out. They love it here. They absolutely love it. Eventually we'll separate them. They'll all have their own cage. And yeah, and matter of fact, we've been working on those cages. We got one right here, and we're working on the newest one right there. And this one is actually looking so good. I can't wait to see what this looks like when it's all done. And guys, this is another thing you guys got to know. This is mainly free material. The chicken wire, I got it for free. There's always building materials that people are just throwing away or don't need them. They're just kind of sitting around. So it's always cool to interact with people that could give stuff to you like that. Only thing I had to buy was the chicken wire. The hardware cloth that's on the bottom, because it has a vinyl coating, so it's not so hard on the rabbit's feet. And then this is the crimper. This is a crimper tool that crimps these into place, and it makes it such a safe and strong cage, and it's super cheap. These are like, I got a whole pack of these for $6, and then this costs about $12. So in total it was like 20 something bucks, but I don't need to rebuy this. Every time I run out of these, I can get these separate. So that's another thing. Super cheap. You can build a lot of cages. And I actually have done research. They said if you want to feed your family for a whole year, you can get like 3 does and 1 buck, and you can have enough food then you don't even know what to do with. So that's how prolific rabbits are. They're awesome. I can't wait to see what kind of numbers they're going to put out. And yeah, other than that, I have my chicken tractor in here that I built when I first got out here, because I didn't want to be alone and I wanted to have some companions. So this is going to go in the field, and we're going to be able to move this thing around. It's not so heavy. And here's the cord. You can pull it around and stuff. And then that's their perch. Uh-oh. Can it focus? Uh-oh. That's this is their perch. And then this is actually super spacious for them. You might think it's small, but they don't need a lot of space to be. They don't need too much vertical space, and they actually enjoy this because it makes them feel safe, keeps them away from the predators' eyesights. And that's really what you want for your animals. You want them to feel safe. You don't want them to be always stressed out, always looking up at the sky, looking for for the next opportunity to be eaten. So this is just amazing. This is their water. This feeds them water all the time, 24/7, whenever they want. And it's always usually clean. Every now and then I have to get in there and clean it out, because it gets a little algae and build up and stuff like that. But you could just see they just peck away at it, and these things work great. These little cheap water nipples are amazing. They've been one of the biggest upgrades I've ever made on this system, and they hardly ever fail me. And they're always able to provide clean water for my chickens. Another thing I like to do nutritional wise is add scratch grains and their egg laying feed. And I like to add cactus as a sort of a forage so that they can have extra fresh greens to eat. And that's going to bring me to my next topic, which is one of the bigger projects I want to tackle this for this early part of the year. I'm attempting to plant probably over 1,000 edible cactus plants. Okay, and I know this sounds crazy, but that's what I want to do, because I want to raise chickens and be able to feed them these cactus because they love it, and it's super nutritional for them, and it can help me save money by not having to spend so much money on scratch grains and their actual feed. So this is already a pile I got these from my mom's house, and I can't wait to get these planted. But basically this entire area, starting like around right here all the way down to the corner and pretty much all the way straight out, like this entire field, I want to just cover it in these cactus. I want to start farming on a larger scale, and I want to see what kind of production I can produce with it, how many birds I can feed, like what kind of opportunities can I create with that. So I can't wait to show you guys when I get started on planting those. And also another thing that goes with that project that I'm gonna have to do also is I'm gonna have to buy a bunch of hardware cloth to cover about 2 foot. I'm gonna buy 3 foot hardware cloth, and I'm gonna have to dig like about 10 inches into the ground and bury that much of it, and whatever sticks up, awesome. But basically it's gonna keep the rodents out, including rabbits and chipmunks, which are notorious for destroying anything that's green. Okay, so I already tried to plant cactus last year and it didn't work because they just devoured them. So I was super mad about that, and I don't want it to happen again. And so this time I know I can be successful if I can just get the proper barrier that I need so that I can keep them away. So another project that I want to work on is this dog compound right here. So right here, I have 4 puppies, and they're gonna have a huge space right here that's gonna be protected, and also a space that will help them keep them out of trouble, because they sometimes they leave. They'll just go exploring and stuff, and they'll come back with like a cactus stuck on their foot like this. They'll have one of those bad boys stuck, and they'll be crying. And so we kind of want to prevent all type of injuries, because it tends to be expensive. So right here, we're gonna do this huge dog run right here, starting from where you see that hole to where you see that hole. It's about 15 feet. It's gonna be 80 foot of a dog run, 15 by 80 feet. And then on this side is another 15 by 80, but these are gonna be their dog compounds. So each one is gonna have a space of about 20 feet, 25 feet by 15. And it's gonna be divided by a fence right here, all the way down. And this back wall is gonna get covered up with these, with those same boards you saw over there. I have a whole stack of them. I don't know if you can see. I could cover up that whole area with them and act as a windbreaker, also to keep the coyotes out and stuff. And also so they don't get hurt on the barbed wire. So that's gonna be awesome. But here's the key thing. This is something that I've been searching for a long time. I've been trying to build them a home that they could enjoy. They could feel like it's super cozy, and that it's always the right temperature. So there's a lot of things out here that can be difficult in the desert. And I finally found the solution, and it's called earth bags. So I'm actually gonna order them today. I'm gonna order 1,400 earth bags. They're about 25 cents a piece, and per dog compound, for doghouse, for every doghouse I'm building, each one's only gonna require about 100 bags. So I'm gonna have a ton extra, and I'm gonna be doing other projects with them, and I'll let you guys in on that later. But yeah, so just understand that the dogs are gonna have probably a 6 foot in diameter circle by about 6 to 8 foot tall space that's gonna be year round. It's gonna be well insulated, and it's gonna be something that's gonna save energy, and it's gonna save a lot of cost in the long run. So I gotta be digging into the ground here and creating a big circle, and just building up, and you'll see that it's gonna be amazing. These little houses are gonna be amazing for them. It's gonna keep them out of the weather, and it's gonna save me money by not having to utilize so many watts, so much energy to try to keep them cool or keep them warm, because that tends to be a really difficult thing to do when you're out here and you don't really have that many resources. So yeah, that's just kind of in a nutshell, that's the things I'm working on this month. And yeah, this is my spot. We have 5 acres. I only have 2.5 fenced in. Only 2.5. And that's good enough for right now. I'm hoping that next year, or sometime maybe this year, I could fence in the rest of it, and we could utilize the full 5 acres. That would be amazing. So we'll see how far we can get, but I ain't gonna stress out about those 2.5, because I still got a lot to do here. But I just want to give you guys a quick update on the projects I'm working on right now. And also I want to talk a little bit about how this dynamic is working for me, because a lot of people might think, oh, this is crazy, this is not going to work, or this is not going to work in every application. And I'm here to say that I think anybody could do something like this, and with the right amount of research and the right amount of willpower, you could do something like this for pretty cheap. I built the fence myself. I saved a lot of money on that. If you could do the work yourself, you're always going to save money. So that's something that you guys should take into consideration. If you're not skilled, there's tons of videos on YouTube that you can get skills from. There's no excuses, guys. I've seen people that didn't know how to do nothing. Now they know how to weld. They know how to frame walls. I mean, I'm a living testament to it, because this year alone, I learned how to do tile. I learned how to install drywall. I learned how to do mudding and taping. I mean, like, I learned how to do plumbing this year, guys. I didn't know how to do plumbing. I read a book. I did a lot of research on it, and I'm working on these huge plumbing projects for the tiny house. I call it the tiny shed, and then this place is called RV Park. So it's really simple, guys. It doesn't take much. If I could do it on the dollars that I got, then I know for a fact some of you can, because I know for a fact some of you guys make a lot of money, and you're not using it wisely. So there's something to think about. It really is. Just give you guys a quick view how gorgeous it is out here. I only have one neighbor. Well, I have two. There's two houses right there, but only one neighbor comes regularly. And then there's my gate right there. Me and my dad built that. We built that in a day, or it took us like 2 days to build that gate, guys, with only $500 worth of material. I'm not kidding you guys. This stuff is cheap. You guys can have no more excuses. All this stuff is cheap enough that you guys could do it. Obviously, not everyone has to be as fancy as me and get a whole 20-foot wrought iron fence, but it's not much, man. For 500 bucks, me and my dad were able to do this. Come on, guys. I know you can do better. Everyone can do it. And I'm excited. I can't wait to show you guys all the other projects that I will be constantly bringing to the surface and trying to work on. So, guys, have a good day. And go green or go home. You know what I'm saying? Woo!